we're going to focus on Ardha Matsyendrasana, which is a seated twist. I'm going to look at a couple of different ways to make sure that you've got something that suits your body. So before we come into our twist, let's just do some cat-cow, just to warm up the spine. So you know where we're going. Hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. Inhale, let's lower the belly, roll the shoulders back, lift the head. Exhale, curve that spine. Take it all the way up to the ceiling. So moving opposite ways, arching the spine, and then pressing into those hands as you scoop the back all the way up to the ceiling. Just take it a couple more times at your own pace. Just getting some flexibility, some movement through the spine before we ask it very nicely to twist. Lovely. Okay, let's come to a seat. And we're going to send the legs out long. Now we're going to keep that left leg out long, and we're going to bring the right foot to step over the left thigh. We want to make sure that that right foot is pressing down into the mat, is really safe and secure, and not kind of going onto one side, really flat to the floor. That extended leg, if you can keep those toes flexed, that just kind of keeps everything active and switched on. Now we're going to start with this variation of it. We're going to go through a couple, just so that you can see what feels good for you in your body today. So hug this right knee with your left elbow. So we're crossing the body and starting to twist to the right. And then take a big circle with this right arm as you reach it back behind you, fingertips come to the earth. So really important with our twists to lengthen before we twist. So as we inhale, we're thinking of reaching the spine up like there is a kind of a cord pulling you up through the ceiling. Really strong spine, lengthening up towards the ceiling. And then maybe on your exhale, you're thinking about twisting, and we're twisting from the core. So we're not kind of pressing this hand in and forcing ourselves round. We're twisting from the core, rolling that right shoulder back, maybe gazing back behind you, but only if it feels good on the neck. And only if you're not using that neck to pull yourself through a little more. Okay, nice. So this first twist on this side, let's take this same one on the other side. So we're going to come back to center, we're going to send that right leg out, and then we're going to press the left foot over the thigh. Again, we're pressing this foot, this crossing foot flat to the floor. So it's not coming up onto the side, it's really pressing strong down through the floor, flexing those right toes, and then wrapping right elbow around your left knee and thigh, lifting your left arm up and sweeping it back as you start to find a twist to the left. As you inhale, can you get taller? Can you feel yourself lengthening? And exhale, can you twist a little further? Inhaling to reach up and exhaling to twist. And make sure that you keep the breath steady and deep while you're in these twists, because the breath is slightly harder to find as it has to navigate a different path up through the body while we're twisting it round, pressing things into the body, making it a bit more constricted and difficult. Okay, gently bring yourself back to center. You're going to lay the legs long. Let's go back to that first side, but an option to kind of take it into the full pose. So we're crossing this right foot over the left leg. That left leg is long and you can stay there, or you could wrap this left leg back and round. So you've got this cross here. This right foot is still pressing down to the floor. It won't suit everyone, right? Because the hips, it's quite tight in the hips, this. So feel free to keep that leg extended. We're going to hug the knee again, so with that left elbow, and then reach that right arm all the way back. But another option, if you want to kind of further the twist, and you could do this with your leg extended too, is to bring this left elbow to the outside of the thigh and find a little twist here. This pose is called Ardha Matsyendrasana. and has a lush little story that I might tell you more about when we go to the other side, so that I don't get too hooked on it this side. Keep breathing and lengthening as you inhale and exhaling to twist. But yeah, Ardha Matsyendrasana translates as half Lord of the Fishes pose. And gently come back to center, and let's just take it onto the other side. So release the legs. Lovely. And then we're keeping this right leg extended as the left foot crosses over the thigh. And then you might bring this leg like wrapped in. Yeah, lovely. Remember, you can always keep that right leg extended. Okay, sit up lovely, nice and tall. Wrap this right elbow around the knee and thigh. Reach the left arm up and back, and you can bring that right elbow to the outside if that feels nicer for your twist. But keep an openness, keep rolling those shoulders back, lifting. So the kind of the story behind this is that two of the Hindu gods were, I think one was teaching the other yoga and was talking to them about the whole mastery of yoga, like really extended time. And they noticed that a huge fish was watching this whole thing, was up on the bank, enormous fish. And so the god who was teaching the yoga was like, well, this fish now knows all about yoga. This fish was present for all of the teaching. So blessed the fish. And the fish turned into a human on this blessing and adopted this pose. So a bit of a fun story. So, I mean, I still like to think, rather than adopt a human person, this is a fish adopting this pose. Feels slightly more fun, I think. Fins and tails flapping around. Anyway, you've definitely been here for long enough. So come back to center, stretch the legs out. Hopefully that's given you a couple of options. It means that if you're ever in a yoga flow and you see someone come into this and you know that that's not that comfortable for your body, you can extend that leg out instead. So it just gives you the options. And equally, if this doesn't feel good to you, coming to the elbow to the outside, you can hug that knee instead. So the hope is that it gives you a little bit more understanding of that particular pose. And some options to find to make your life a little easier. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.